Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of Clearly Thriving. I'm Allison Clay,
And I'm Siri Harkins.
and we are thriving,
Clearly,
clearly. Siri, what are you drinking today?
water.
Beautiful. I have water in the exact same cup, but I also have this is a Diet Coke with the whipped vanilla vodka.
Good job.
I love the whipped vanilla vodka because anytime you put it in a soda, it automatically tastes like a float version of that soda.
Yes,
So, like, I
that's
love to
amazing.
make diet root beer in my soda stream, and then I'll put that in it. Or I'll make diet orange soda and put that in it, and then it tastes like a creamsicle, basically.
That sounds great.
It's really good. I enjoy it. One time I made it into a slush. I don't remember how. I guess I must have frozen the soda.
Ice or something.
I think I froze the soda like in a little ice
Oh,
tray, and then I must have just blended it with the vodka. But it was really good. Highly recommend.
that would be good.
Yeah.
Oh, what a delight.
Well, I just finished watching The Town That Dreaded Sundown, the remake, not the original. Um, and it was very, very much one of those have sex and you will die movies.
Oh,
Yeah. Which it's based on a true story, which makes it even creepier because that's like one of the biggest horror tropes. It's like if you ever find yourself in a slasher movie, do not have sex.
yeah, that's true.
And I guess maybe that's how that came about. I don't
Started.
know. Yeah, but anyway, have sex and you will
Amazing.
die, just like that coach from Mean Girls said,
And don't have sex because you will get pregnant and
and
die.
die.
Because you will get chlamydia and die.
Don't have sex standing up.
Just don't do it, people, okay?
Take
All
some
right,
condoms.
everybody take some rubbers.
Anyway,
Yeah. I was just thinking about Mean Girls. There was such a funny moment last year when I was student teaching where one of the cadets in class mentioned something, like made a quote of like, on Wednesdays we wear pink. It was like, that's from Mean Girls. Have you seen Mean Girls? And I was just like, have
have
I
I seen
seen
Mean
Mean
Girls?
Girls? Like, listen, I went to see Mean Girls in the movie theater because that's how old I am. You weren't even born yet. Um, yeah. And that same student like made some funny comment about like millennials, and it was like intended to be like insulting, like, oh my gosh, that sounds like such a millennial thing. And she's saying this to me, and I was just like, you have no idea how old I am, do you?
The very first time I saw Mean Girls was at a sleepover. And this was very much in my phase of strongly avoiding being mainstream. Like,
Oh,
I refused to get an iPhone for like 6 years because everyone else wanted one. And I was like, no. And so everyone else was obsessed with Mean Girls. So I was like, no.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And, eventually I grew out of that and realized that people like things for a reason. So,
Yes. Yes, this is
yeah.
true.
Anyway, the other night I slept in my Mean Girls the musical shirt. That's what I have
Ooh,
to contribute.
good.
Hmm.
Good job.
Thank you. Yeah. Sleeping in clothes is great. I don't know.
Yes.
I have nothing to say.
Oh my gosh. I saw our friend Gary went to C6 at the Pantages, and I'm just like, ah, I
Jasenia
want to
and I are
go.
going on Sunday.
I know. I saw that and I was like, oh, they're probably going, and I'm
Yeah.
so mad. Not like I'm happy that you get to go see it, but I'm mad because I want to go see it.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Jasenia and I got season tickets for the Pantages this season. Probably won't do it next season because it's not as good of a season. This season was like a very good season. But we just saw Hairspray on Sunday, which this season has also been different because some of the Pantages season shows have been at the Dolby, which is interesting.
Oh,
So we
that is
saw
interesting.
Hairspray at the Dolby. which was very exciting because my friend Faith, who I worked with in high school, is in the tour right now. As a swing, she's understudy for Tracy and then like swings for everyone. And then she got to go on for our show. So that was very
Oh my
exciting.
gosh, that's awesome. I
And
love that.
Estella was with us. And I like pointed her
Good.
out to Jasenia, and then Jasenia pointed her out to Estella, and Estella was like, oh my gosh.
Good.
Yes.
Goodness. That makes me think we need to check and see about if I could get a ticket to Beetlejuice,
Yes, we probably should.
because we'll make that happen.
Yeah.
That'll be my plan.
Yay!
Yes. Yeah, basically. I don't remember if we talked about this on the podcast or if I just texted you about it later. But yeah, basically my summer plan is to spend like 3 weeks in LA. So
Mhm. It's gonna be great.
it will be. It'll be a good time. My mom was like, "Are you gonna board the dogs?" And I was like, "I'm gonna take them." And she was
Yeah.
like, "You're not gonna drive to Missouri, are you?" And I was like, "What else would I do?" Like, like people,
Well,
which just goes for that whole, like, some people feel like driving a long way is like such an ordeal, whereas other people it's like, yeah, whatever. Um, so one of my dancers the other night, her mom was late picking her up, and it wasn't a big deal. And I was just kind of like, okay, but actually, if you do need a ride home, like I can do that. And she was like, oh, I live all the way in whatever, some like neighboring town. Like it probably would have been like a half hour ish to get her there, sort of. Probably not quite. It probably would have been like a 20-minute drive. But she said that, and I was just like, okay, listen, people from here are gonna say, wow, that's so far.
like
I
I'm
am
from
not.
Los Angeles.
I was like, I am not like that. And then literally Stacy, the dance studio director, comes over, and we like her mom. She was like, my mom's like 5 minutes away. She's like, so I don't need that. And Stacy was like, oh, where do you live? And she was like, oh, this place. And she was like, wow, that's so far. And we just started laughing because I'm like, I told you. Like that's exactly what everyone says. Wow, that's so
Amazing.
far. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my parents' house is only like 12 hours from you, or maybe a little less. But also, if you were to fly, the closest airport is like 2.5 hours away anyway.
Yeah. So whatever. I'd probably rent a car just so I could not worry
Exactly.
about it.
Yeah. Plus, you only need it one way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Perks of living in the middle of a national forest is no airports.
Yeah. But I also like traveling with 2 dogs is going to be a whole other thing.
True. At least you can fly with both of them.
Yes, not every airport, or wow, not every airport, not
Airline?
every airline allows it.
Interesting.
So Southwest, you can fly with like
Two
two
of the
dogs
same. Yeah.
or 2 cats, but yeah. But they have a smaller dimension limit for their carriers. Whereas like Delta and United accept slightly larger carriers, but you cannot travel with 2 dogs unless it is
Interesting.
like 2 from the same litter under 6 months old, or if it is a mom who has puppies that are not weaned yet.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I couldn't fly with both of them on just any airline. It would have to be Southwest, which is fine because that's what I prefer anyway.
Yeah. That's interesting though that you can have two, but it's a smaller
Yeah,
dimension.
because I bought that like carrier, the Sherpa brand one, and that rolls, and it had that whole thing like, oh yeah, airline approved. And then I looked up, and the dimensions are too big for Southwest.
Of course.
And I was like, okay, what airlines would this be okay on? And it was like Delta and United, both of which their pet policy, you can't have more than one. I'm like, awesome. So this was a waste of $100.
Well, I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah, it's fine. I zip Panini in that carrier in the car now. So, but it just lives in the car. So I don't even need a rolling carrier. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. It's fine.
Yeah. I can't remember if I already told you or not, but I got a new little carry-on bag. because when
Oh,
I
yes.
fly with the pets, yeah, I'm excited to try that out.
Ah, that'll be good.
Yeah. And especially this trip, it'll be so easy because I'm only flying one way because obviously you and I are driving back out. And my mom will
Yes.
be with me and we're going Southwest because that's what our like reward account is with. So I could check if I wanted to, I won't, but I could check up to 4 bags because my mom is flying in one day and then the very next day we fly back. So she's only
Yeah.
gonna have a carry-on.
Good.
Yeah, it's great.
Did you just imagine? Like, oh yeah, I checked 4 bags. And then me being like, you do realize we're driving like back, right? And I'm probably gonna have to actually kind of have a lot of stuff because if I'm spending 3 weeks in
2 pets in 3
LA,
weeks, yeah. Well, the good news is you can do laundry here.
this is true.
Yeah, that's like one of the main perks of going to my parents. Like when I went to my grandma's funeral, because it was a last minute travel situation, I could only have one bag. And so
Oh,
I was gone
yes.
for 2 weeks and had to fit everything in that one bag, which is really hard because
Yeah.
for one, my medical supplies alone are like half of a checked bag for that
Yes.
period of time. And then like clothes and having to have like nice stuff too for the funeral. Anyway, it was exhausting. And my mom was like, just bring like 3 sweaters and I'll just wash them. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The family emergency trip to Seattle,
Mm-hmm,
I
hmm.
just shut like I didn't even like I couldn't even think straight. So like putting stuff in my backpack, like I just needed to fit stuff in that one bag. Like I was like, I
Yeah.
cannot. And I was flying, I think Delta. So a little bit different policies than I don't know. But I had to stretch everything that I packed because I was like, I wore a pair of jeans on the plane. That was my
Yeah.
pair of jeans. I brought one other pair of pants. Like my sister and I went to Target so I could buy a different shirt and a pair of pants and a sports bra and underwear. Like it was just, it was a time. And usually I'm like the overpacker of all
Yeah.
things like that. Like I'm always like, oh, I have like extra underwear, extra socks. This trip I was like, I'm turning these socks inside out because they're disgusting.
Ew.
Like it was gross.
Literally, when I went for my grandma, I decided I was going while was at work one day, and I was going to Disney the next day, and then my flight was the next day. So I made my packing list while I was at work, and thank God I was only at work for like 6 hours that day. Like that was a miracle. So I went home and packed immediately. Otherwise, I would have just not had time.
Yes.
But yeah, packing in a rush is great, and
It's a time. You
uh-huh.
realize like the dumb things that you forget.
Yes. A few Christmases ago, and this wasn't even a last minute trip, it was Christmas, so I had literally a whole year to plan. One Christmas, I went to my parents and I showed up and I had driven out because I had both pets with me because I always do at Christmas. Um, by the time I got there, I like opened my suitcase because I had all my like stuff for the trip in like a little backpack, and then my stuff for like once I got there was in bigger bags. I got there and I pulled out the bigger bags and realized I had not packed underwear beyond the 3 days worth that was in my driving bag. So thank God at that time my parents lived directly behind a Target. So I just like ran over there and bought underwear. But now
Oh,
my mom, every time I'm traveling, she's like, don't forget underwear. And I'm like, yeah, okay. It
that was one time.
was one time. One time they were going to a wedding and they showed up to their destination, which it was a destination wedding, so they had to like travel for it. They get there. My dad had forgotten his pants, his belt, and his shoes.
Oh, good.
So they had to go buy him.
Oh, goodness.
Mhm.
Well, so it goes.
Yep. So at that wedding, dude wore pants and a jacket from 2 different suits.
It's a vibe, okay?
It is. It is.
Oh well. It was a destination wedding. What else could they expect?
Right.
Ugh.
It's
I still have one of Panini's dog like baby teeth right here, and I really should just throw it away.
I think you should keep it. Keep at least one because it's so little.
Well, it's like a weird one because it's like a molar.
Oh,
So it's kind of like funky looking.
that looks like something they would find in like the deserted basement in a horror movie.
Yeah, she lost another one like that too in the kitchen the other day. Because these ones, she like, it seems like she's chewing on something for so long. And then I'll like grab it and it's one of these stupid teeth.
I'll have to ask my mom if Frosty is losing teeth yet because he's just a few weeks younger than Panini.
Yeah. This is a horrible picture because it, for whatever reason, won't focus on this. But I'm sending it to you anyway, just so you can see
Great.
how weird this tooth is. It's just a weird time.
I think I just got it. Oh, that is weird.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't think all the root came out, where it's like it's broken or something.
Oh, it all came out.
Okay.
It's a baby tooth.
Well, that's right. But why is it so scraggly on the top?
I don't know. Because that's how it is on that side. Well, also consider the fact that she was chewing on it.
Well, true. All right. Never mind.
I'm still trying to figure out how to take a better photo of this stupid tooth.
It's so little. I don't know why iPhones have a hard time focusing on like
The
small
small
items.
things. It's so annoying. And like the camera is pretty decent, but it can't focus on things up close.
Right.
Like this picture looks like complete bullshit. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yesterday, right, it was actually kind of a nice day here, miraculously. Um, the heat is still on in our buildings, by the way. The apartment company is who comes in and like turns that off. And I'm like, it is May and it's still on. Okay.
Interesting.
Anyway, so yesterday was an actual nice day. So when I was finally freaking home from work and everything, I took dogs on a little walk, a little saunter, if you will. Oh, and this guy started walking like up the sidewalk and he was like just carrying like a 12 pack of Mountain Dew. And this guy had a few screws loose, was not
Well,
not
clearly he's carrying a 12-pack of Mountain Dew.
yeah, not the sharpest crayon in the box kind of dude, whatever. Perfectly friendly, whatever. So he's like talking to me about the dog. So we're like talking, and I'm like, Mocha's not happy. And whatever, just talking at me as people do. And he said, I fully think this man thought that he was saying Shih Tzu.
What did he say?
He was because he's like, oh, are those wiener dogs? And I'm like, yeah, they're wiener dogs. And he's like, I have a shithead at home. And I thought it was like him just saying like his dog is a shithead. And I'm like, yeah, people say that kind of thing, don't they? No, he was talking to me like, yeah, shitheads are so expensive to groom. And I'm like, I think you're trying to tell me you have a Shih Tzu. Like, what? It was so funny. And then he was just like, oh, yeah, this is where my house is right there. It's 6 bedrooms, yada, yada. And I'm like, awesome. He's like, you must live around here. I was like, yep, I live nearby. Have a good day. And
Uh-huh. Bye.
Yep. Takes all
Great.
kinds. All right. Like it's it took me like stepping away from this conversation to be like, I think he has a Shih Tzu. Yes. Right,
Great.
Nini.
Great. Yeah. At the picket
Yes.
line yesterday, there was a guy there with a pug. And so obviously I went up and said hi because pug. And I was like, oh, I have a pug chihuahua mix at home. And he was like, oh my gosh, I bet she's so cute. And I was like, she is. And the dog's name was Elvis Pugsley.
Oh, I love it. That's so cute.
And after a couple hours, Elvis Pugsley got tired and his dad had to carry him as he held a sign in the other hand. There have been a lot of dogs at the pickets, and it's really been great. There also have
But
been a lot of like strollers, and the signs that people put on the strollers are great.
I liked, maybe you posted this, but someone had a sign that said, I want to be in the room where it happened.
Yes. I don't think I posted that one, but I did see it. But
Yeah.
yesterday there was a
Hey.
long-haired wiener that had
Yes.
a homemade sandwich board on that said dog on strike, and I was like, yes.
I love it. Panini, would you go to a picket line?
I joked to Corey that I should bring Lila, and she was like, Lila, you'd have to carry her. And I was like, no, she has a stroller. And she was like, of course she does.
Yes. Yes, that's how I brought Mocha to all those psychotically early pin releases in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because that was when I lived with my roommate that did not get along with Mocha. Stop it. So I couldn't like just leave Mocha at the house at 4 a.m. Stop it, Panini.
She wants to be on the podcast.
She's being loud and it's annoying. And I'm not close enough to a spray bottle right now.
Yesterday there was a stroller, and this was like an older kid in a stroller, probably like 4. Most of the ones we've seen in strollers are like toddler more. But she had a sign, and this one was not like taped to the stroller, she was actually holding it.
Holding it?
And it was like on a little paint stick instead of like one of the actual big sticks. They had made it like small enough for her hand, and it said, even I know how to share. And it was great.
Oh, that's cute.
It was great. Yeah. The first day we went, there was a girl in a stroller who slept through most of it, but taped on her stroller was a sign that said, pay my parents.
Good.
Mhm.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's been great. It's been pretty fun.
And I've
We were
already seen the
there.
posts roll in that are like, I need work because of the writer's strike.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yesterday we went for 4 hours, so we were there for the entire SAG shift. And in 4 hours, my watch clocked just over 6 miles, 17,000 steps. We burned over 400 active calories.
Oh my gosh.
So, like, that's not total calories, that's active calories. Yeah. So naturally, I did not ride my Peloton yesterday.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
need a break.
Today though, I did a Broadway ride, which was the first time I had done that. Because I've been doing either a beginner ride or a low impact ride, and just sticking around like the 15-20 minute mark because they're pretty high intensity and I get tired. And today, Bradley Rose is my favorite instructor so far. He's British and very attractive. And for me to say that a guy is attractive, you know this man is nice. Tell me I'm wrong. Have I ever said to you, Siri, that man is good looking? Ever.
No.
This man is good looking. Anyway, he's British and he's very encouraging, and I like him, and he's funny. And so he had a Broadway ride that was 20 minutes, and it was not on the beginner level. And I was like, this is gonna wear me out, but yes.
Oh my gosh.
And it played so many of my favorite songs. It played Don't Lose Your Head from Six. And I was like, yes. And at one point I actually like shouted, yes. Because for the first like 10 minutes, I was just having a little party on my bike. And then I got tired after that. And Adria like poked her head out and she was like, you good? And I was like, I'm doing a Broadway ride. And she was like, okay.
Oh my gosh. Good.
So living my best life. I really thought that Robin would be my favorite instructor because she's the diabetic one. And I do like her rides, but Bradley, I don't know, he just is more entertaining, I guess.
Well, good.
Mhm.
I'm glad you have been finding your favorite Peloton workouts. This is very when my friend Emily got her new like kitchenware, like her stovetop stuff, and it was that green color. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, isn't it so cute?" And I just stopped and I was just like,
No.
whatever makes you happy. And like in the moment, I really do think I was trying to be genuine. But like, yeah, I didn't like it, but I was trying to just be like, I mean, it's your stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy. It's like that is the new like, ew, that's ugly. Um, kind of like if someone's being an idiot or does something stupid, you're just like, you're so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've been enjoying my Peloton.
Good. Good. I'm
And
glad.
not that this is important, but I've already lost 8 pounds in 3 weeks.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah. Not that that was why I really started doing it, but it's nice.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll take it.
Yeah. That is good. Good for
I
you.
texted Jasenia when I texted you to tell you about the Broadway ride. And I was like, this one has Don't Lose Your Head from 6. And she was like, I'm coming over. And she did not, in fact, come over. But I told her, I was like, I'm going to make you start with a beginner ride because they like teach you how to use the bike. And I think that's important. And she was like, no. Okay, I'll let you die on your first ride. Hi, Mochaccino. She's like a little pop-up ad in the corner of your screen.
They're always like that. And Patini's right behind her. Like they're just, well,
Good.
get over here. See, and there's Patini.
It's like one of those little Russian nesting dolls. The girl on TikTok that has 8 wieners, it cracks me up every time she shows up on my For You page. I have to send it to you because I'm like, if you could, you would.
Like at least with 2, I can kind of hold both of them.
Yeah. With 8, you could not. They are very well behaved, though, like very well trained, and that has to be intentional. But like the very first one of hers that I watched, she like opened her front door and she has like a minivan or something with a little ramp for them to go into the back seat. She just
Yeah.
like opened the car door and then opened her front door and they all just went directly into the van. But when she just opened her door and they just like ran into her front yard, I was like, it's like,
Like, because she lives in like a suburban neighborhood.
yes.
Like, wow,
Yes.
what a flex
Right.
that she
Yes.
has 8 dogs and lives in a suburban neighborhood. Like, she lives in Texas. Like, save
Oh, I
us.
didn't know that, but yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, she's so cute with them, and they're all cute and precious. My favorite one is Einstein. He's the long hair, wiry one, and it's funny because his name is Einstein, and he is just not all there. Like he's the derpiest one.
Mocha
And I
is
love
standing
him.
on my oh my gosh.
Did she just jump between you and the back of your chair?
She was standing on this, my little sofa table thing.
Great.
Oh yeah, she is between me and the back of the chair now.
Uh-huh. Hi, Bean.
Because that's where she wants to be.
And now Panini's like, me too, me too.
Oh my gosh. If this content hasn't convinced you to watch our YouTube videos of our podcasts, it should.
I've been told that they're pretty entertaining.
Oh, good. I know. I
Also,
started
Siri
being
has
a
been
little.
pretty active on the Instagram lately.
Yeah, I decided to step up my game with Instagram.
It's fine with me because clearly I suck at being in charge of it.
You got other stuff. I don't know. Plus, okay, here's the thing too. Like, Raise your hand if you edit the podcast every week. That's Allison's hand in the air. Okay.
I do.
Raise your hand if you made the YouTube channel.
I did.
Oh,
I
look.
did.
Oh, look, it's Allison again. Raise your hand if you are recording the Zoom meeting as we speak. Oh, look, it's Allison again. Raise your hand if you are the person who uploads and schedules the podcast every week. Oh, look, it's Allison again. So, anyway, I think that means I can
I mean, I'm fine with it.
do some Instagram stuff.
The very first time you posted on, I think it was on the story, or maybe it was an actual post, but I like woke up and had all these Instagram notifications, and it was for the Clearly Thriving page because it's logged in on both of our phones. And I was like, out of all the accounts to get hacked, who would want to hack that one? And then it was you, and I was like, all right, that's fine.
I know. Oh yeah, because I posted like a story quiz that was it was like a picture of Allison and I, and it was like, oh, whose birthday was this? It was Allison's because it was the unicorn party.
That was a good time.
There was somebody who did vote me though.
Who?
Someone that we don't actually know in real life.
Oh, that's funny, and that makes sense. Thank you for participating, friend.
Yes. Yes. I also asked what podcast listening place people listen to podcasts. I don't know if I could have worded that more awkwardly, but and I learned that Allison is an Apple Podcasts person.
Yes, I don't really know why.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think just because that was where I started, because I started listening to podcasts before you added me on your Spotify family plan.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So all of my stuff was already there. So Spotify now is just my music. And then there's like one podcast I listen to that only uploads to Spotify now.
Oh.
Like they started out everywhere, but then when they got super popular, Spotify like bought them, I think.
Ew.
Yeah. So
Get that exclusivity.
right.
Dollar bills, y'all. Yeah, I don't know. The other day I was just sitting kind of bored because I don't know. I am the queen of perpetually busy. So if I'm sitting there idle, and like this is also funny because on the flip side, I do like to be pretty like chill and like a do nothing vibe. It's a very
that is probably the biggest similarity we have.
Yes. So anyway, I was sitting in my chill nothingness and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to look at something else or do something else. So I just started making some other stuff on that Instagram. Yep.
Well, I like it. The Wisdom with Siri is hilarious.
Oh, good. Because there have been some funny stuff that I've said on the podcast, but I couldn't remember any of it. So I just made up some new stuff.
I fully believe that you had said it.
Okay, cool. Then we can just pretend that I never said that.
Well, now you can go back and listen to all the old episodes.
Well, that's what I was going to like listen to one and I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so hard to like find the golden nuggets in these podcast episodes.
Yes, we are almost 2 years in.
Ugh.
Yeah, this is episode like 89, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do something special for episode 100.
I know. I'm going to have to actually remember when I edit episode 99. I'll be like next week.
Let's do something. I do think we should also have Casey on the podcast again.
Oh, we absolutely should.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends that I made on the show I just wrapped, she needs to come on because she's a comedian and she's brilliant.
Yes. Love it.
So. And then we can always have Lily back because it's been like a year. It's about time.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Lily's great. I just finished up a self-tape class with Lily and our agent Haley. And I don't know if it was like I hate self-tapes. So I mean that's kind of why I did this workshop, is because I was like, okay, I need to just do it.
Yeah.
And then it's just very, like Lily even said in like her last feedback to me, like, I say this with love and as a friend because I know you, but I see a little bit of that self-doubt creeping in. And I'm like, it's because I hate it, Lily. I hated it. I was holding Panini while trying to do this. I was tired.
I still think you should send her the unedited one.
I did. I added her to like the Google Drive or whatever. I don't know if she's seen it though.
Okay, I'll have to text her and remind her because she texted me and she was like, I've been hearing your voice a lot lately, so I wanted to say hi. And then she was like, how is Siri doing? Like, is she enjoying the class? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, she kind of seems stressed. And I was like, she is. She was like, okay, well, tell me if I'm being too hard on her. And I was like, no, she's being hard enough on herself.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, the one of the I did like almost cry during when I was looking at some of the feedback for one of them. I just but like let's be real, I'm kind of dramatic.
Well,
I was gonna say I hide it well, but I don't think I do hide it well. I think
when
I'm
you
just
want
like,
to, you're funny about it. We both are.
yeah,
That's the thing. We're very dramatic, but we're entertaining about it.
and self-aware. I think
Yes.
that's a good piece. But
Yeah.
like it's like I need to be like that, like over dramatic, and then it's like,
Yeah.
I know that I'm being dramatic, but I have to still be dramatic, and then later I'm like over it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Lily also, she was like, also, I feel like I need to like check myself because I'm harder on people that I love. And I was like, yeah, I know. And she was like, what do you mean you know? And I was like, you made me do that one scene 7 times before I finally flew to you and had you direct it. And she was like, was it really 7 times? It's like, yes. And she was like, well, it was worth it.
Yes, but that's also the thing. Like you want the people you like to do well. So
Mhm,
if you see
exactly.
something and you want to pull more out of them, like it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, like no,
Yeah.
I can be internally dramatic about it. I'm not gonna like did I have that like split second like it's for sure, but it was also like 10 p.m. on a Sunday night, and I was like,
Yeah. You had me on speakerphone. The dogs were being heinous. You were
yes.
holding the baby directly out of frame. It was actually pretty funny. I took a
Mhm.
screenshot because it was worth documenting.
I know. And then my friend Emily posted her self-tape fail with like, it's so hard to self-tape with a dog because her dog was sitting at her feet and was kind of pitter-patter walking. And I was just like, oh girl, I
Yep.
need to share with you this.
Oh, well, Jasenia knows because she's been my reader if I have like more intensive involved scenes since you
Yes.
moved. But I trap Lila on my bed because if I move her stairs, she can't jump down. I take her and Winston's collars both off. There have been a couple of times where I've had to like exile Winston into the sunroom. Because
Yep.
if he's in here, most of the time he's chill, but sometimes he'll be like wanting to knock stuff over and get attention. And then if I just put him outside my door, he just sits there and meows. So I'll put him in the sunroom for 20 minutes and be like, see you, dude.
Yeah. It's hard. It is really hard
It
to,
is, yeah.
oh,
A
like pets are
necessary
great.
evil.
Yeah.
Self tapes, not pets.
Yeah. As I was like, Safenya, have a seat, Safenya, with Panini. Safenya,
She's just like
Henya, Henya.
little paniners.
Which we got the cutest pictures with one of my former dancers, actually, Adriana. But yeah,
They're
she
so
did the
cute.
she did the cutest pictures with us, and I love them, and I'm obsessed.
Well, we'll have to post some of them. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode of Clearly Thriving. I'm Allison Clay.
And I'm Siri Harkins. I forgot we post the videos of these.
Uh-huh.
Enjoy that. Anyway.
And we're thriving. I hope
Well,
you are too.
yeah, clearly.